Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another daily devotion. This devotion I'm recording for broadcast on Monday, June 13th of 2022. We're going to finish up the 17th chapter of Matthew's Gospel. We'll look at verses 24 to 27. And I know that those of you who are very, very observant and perceiving noticed that I have the same outfit on that I had on Friday's video, and that's because I'm recording this on Thursday, the same day I recorded Fridays. So this is for Monday, though. Monday, June 13th of 2022. Jesus and the temple tax is what we have going here. All right, let's take a listen. This is a very strange story. Some say it's the strangest story, the most peculiar miracle, perhaps in all the Gospels, but for certain in Matthew's Gospel. It's a strange story. We'll try to figure out if we can understand or glean something from it that means something for us, shall we? All right. When they had reached Capernaum, the collectors of the temple tax came to Peter and said, "Does your teacher not pay the temple tax?" He said, "Yes, he does." And when he came home, Jesus spoke of it first, asking, "What do you think, Simon? From whom do kings of the earth take toll or tribute? From their children or from others?" When Peter said, "From others," Jesus said to him, "Then the children are free. However, so that we do not give offense to them, go to the sea and cast a hook. Take the first fish that comes up, and when you open its mouth, you will find a coin. Take that and give it to them for you and for me." All right. First of all, we want to go through this and pick out some things where the NRSV is being what do I want to say, politically correct, perhaps, or they're using a modern day language. First of all, when it says coin, that's shekel, and it's worth 4 drachma. Okay, and that would be approximately the tax that they're charging here is a Jewish tax that they're talking about here. It's not a Roman tax. Matthew is a Roman tax collector, or he was, but this is a Jewish tax for the temple, and it's the tax that was collected about a month prior to Passover, so they were collecting the tax in advance. And they were set up probably along the road coming into Capernaum or near Capernaum, taxing people as they went. Which bears in mind that in the day prior to identification and things like that, how do you know whether you already paid the tax or not? I don't know. Good question. I don't know the answer to that one. But here, it's about a 2-day wages tax per person that they're asking for. And so that word coin is shekel. All right. And here, what the NRSV has translated as from their children or from others. That's sons, not children. It's sons. All right. And so it says, Jesus said to him, "Then the sons are free." And that's important because Jesus, it's relating to Jesus. Jesus is relating to himself here. They're taxing me. How can this earthly person, this earthly king, how can he tax me? I'm the heavenly king's son. You don't tax the son of the God, but so as not to give offense. And that word offense doesn't mean to make you, oh my gosh, you offended me, which we are so familiar with today. It's a stumbling block, is to make them fall away. So that's what's going on here. But the point of the matter is here well, first of all, this is also an insult to Jesus because rabbis were exempt from this tax, the temple tax. Rabbis didn't have to pay it. So it's an insult for them, perhaps that they say, does your teacher not pay the temple tax? Perhaps it's an innocent question. Perhaps they're inquiring, or is it an insult? I don't know. Lots of times people think it's an insult that they're saying, well, your teacher really isn't a certified teacher. He's not a real teacher. And so therefore he should have to pay. And Jesus does pay so as not to offend them, apparently, or to cause them to stumble. The point here, I think that we can walk away from it. So we want to look for what can we walk away from this for. Jesus certainly could have protested having paid this tax. He could have raised a stink about it, couldn't he? I think he certainly could have, but he didn't. And the point that we take away from this is there are times when we stand up and we raise a stink. There are times when we do not hesitate to stand up for the gospel. We don't barter it away. We don't negotiate it away, shall we say. But there's also times when discretion is the better part of valor. And that's something we need to remember in this day and age. When we're on the internet, we talk about people being offended. And oftentimes when people are offended, then they stop listening, don't they? And it becomes a stumbling block. People are overly offended in this day and age. They're too easily offended. And people need to learn to quit that. That's not something you ought to be doing. Because if once you have this faux offense, really, I think a lot of it is faux offense. Oh, I'm offended, and it gives you an excuse to stop listening to the other person. And that's what we don't want to give them that. Let's be a little sneakier about it, perhaps. But when we're dialoguing with people online, there are many times that I will type a response to somebody on a a forum or social media or what have you, email, what have you, and then I stop a minute and I delete it all out and move on my way. All right, because is it going to actually accomplish what I would like to accomplish? Chances are that it won't. And if I realize that it's going to become a stumbling block for that other person, and then the best thing I can do is to, you know, stop, think, delete it, and find another way to get the message across, rather than to do something that in the end will drive that person away from Christ. And that's not the goal. That's not the goal at all. The goal is the opposite, to bring them to the Son. So that's what I think we can bring away from this, and I hope that you might agree with me, perhaps. And if you do like these videos, please like and subscribe down below. Share them. We'd love to hear from you. Make a comment below if it's nice, please. Only nice comments. But we would welcome you to come back and be with us again, please. All right. With that, I'm going to let you go. Have a very blessed day, and please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. Tell them about Jesus. That would be a wonderful thing to do. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.